Good day, Dr. Shafiza. Welcome to our group's presentation. I am Yalini Chandran together with Galian Candy Anak Leman, Liz Intian, Shafira binti Budiman, and Aimuni Fazana binti Azidi. This presentation is about corrosion in our daily life and its prevention. Corrosion is a common thing in our daily life. You can see corrosion everywhere. But what is corrosion? Corrosion is basically a electrochemical process that deteriorates metal by reacting with the environment. During corrosion process, refined metals naturally converts to a more stable form of metal. For example, metals will convert to its oxide, hydroxide or sulfide state. This will lead to the material's deterioration process. But here, do we all know the causes of the corrosion? Here is the answer. Substances such as oxygen, hydrogen, electric current, dirt and bacteria in the environment can cause the corrosion process to happen. What can the corrosion do? It can do many dangerous things in our daily life, such as reducing a building's stability and causes it to collapse. Some things that happens because of the corrosion can lead to accidents and deaths or can injure some people. Sometimes people can get sick or may be poisoned when they drink water from the rusted pipeline. This shows that the corrosion leaves a lot of effects in our daily life. So let's find out more about this corrosion in this video. In this video, you are going to know more about the corrosion in oil and gas production, galvanized pipe corrosion, corrosion of steel in concrete, underground tanks corrosion, and corrosion of iron metals. Hello everyone, today I am going to present about the corrosion of iron. Corrosion is a natural process where a pure metal substance transforms to undesirable substance when it continuously exposed to air and water. So as we can see here, iron have very good tensile strength and rigidity. But when it comes to corrosion, the iron becomes brittle, flaky and structurally unsound. This causes the iron metal to become iron to oxide when it's continuously exposed to air and water. This is known as deterioration. When the iron surface continuously exposed to air and water, this causes the iron surface to undergo the process deteriorating process and become very brittle. Metal iron converts to Fe2 plus when the iron loses the electrons. The lost electrons will then combine with H plus ions. H2O and H2CO3 that present in the atmosphere will release the H plus ions, and this is considered as the cathode position. There are two conditions where the rusting process will happen. One is acidic condition and another one is alkaline and neutral condition. As you can see here, the acidic solution, this is the anode equation and this is the cathode equation for the acidic solution. This equation considered as the equation for the rust in the acidic solution. As for the alkaline or neutral solution, this is our anode and this is our cathode equation. And this is considered as the forming of rust equation under the alkaline or neutral condition. Factors that affect the corrosion of iron are various. One of them is exposure of iron surface to the gases that containing CO2, SO2 and CO3. These gases can cause the corrosion to happen. Next, the moisture such as salt water can increase the rate of corrosion, which will result in the rusting of iron metal. NaC plus NaCl considered as the impurities because it is a salt which can make the corrosion of iron surface process to be happen more faster than usual. Next, increase in the temperature of the surrounding can increase the rate of corrosion process. Acid that present in the atmosphere can make the rusting process to become more active and accelerate the process of corrosion. We can prevent the corrosion of iron in many ways. One of them is passivation method. In this method, the iron surface will become inactive. A thin oxide layer will form when the metal is treated with strong oxidizing agent such as nitric acid. Sodium chromate also often used in cooling systems radiators to prevent the rust in the radiators. Galvanizing iron metal is a popular prevention that uses in many industries. By applying zinc to the iron surface, the zinc plate will undergo the corrosion. Cathode protection, also known as another popular method to prevent the corrosion for the underground pipelines. Thank you.
My presentation is about corrosion in oil and gas. Corrosion in oil and gas happens when dry CO2 gas is not corrosive at the temperatures in oil and gas production system. But when dissolved in aqueous phase, it can stimulate an electrochemical reaction between steel and the contacting aqueous phase. When CO2 reacts with water, it forms carbonic acid, which makes the fluid acidic. H2S corrosion is the degradation of metal caused by contact with hydrogen, H2S, and moisture, and is the most harmful to drill pipe. Factor that affect the corrosion of oil and gas is, although H2S is not corrosive on its own, in the presence of water it becomes a highly corrosive agent, causing pipeline enrichment. When hydrogen sulfate is dissolved in water, it forms a weak acid, which is corrosive and source of hydrogen ions. Iron sulfate creates a scale that can function as a barrier to inhibit corrosion at low temperature. Prevention of the corrosion oil and gas production. The corrosion can be prevented by the new anti-corrosion additives were developed with the help of volatile corrosion inhibitor, which is VPCIs. This solution offers a similarly high level of protection for steel against corrosion attack and fluoridation caused by H2S and carbon dioxide. VPCI technology is an ecology-friendly and cost-effective corrosion prevention alternative. VPCIs make a physical bond on the metal surface to make a barrier layer against hostile ions.
Hi, my name is Li Xingtian. Today I'm going to present about the galvanized pipe corrosion. The purpose of galvanizing process is to prevent the corrosion of the pipe. Although the galvanized pipe has a layer of coating on it, after many years of exposure to air and a complex environment, the sacrificial corrosion properties of the zinc coating and exhausted, it will eventually rust. Factors that affect the galvanized pipe corrosion. Naturally, water will not be in a very pure condition. The water may contain a lot of impurities, hence the corrosion of the zinc surface is largely controlled by the impurities present in water. The corrosion will happen is because of the soft water, particularly when heated. This is due to soft water will replace calcium and magnesium with sodium. This will quickly remove the protective zinc coating, leaving the carbon steel underneath vulnerable to attack. So, what is the prevention of the galvanized pipe corrosion? We can cleaning pipes from time to time to avoid corrosive bacteria buildup. Other than that, avoiding metal-to-metal contact also is a way to prevent corrosion of the galvanized pipe. If the potential of the metal that contact with galvanized pipe has a higher potential than the zinc layer, will cause corrosion very easily.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Aimin Fazana binti Azidi. So I want to present about corrosion of steel in concrete. So steel bar corrosion is the leading cause of concrete structural failure. Corrosion can be significantly reduce structural strain and life. And in humid conditions, pollutants from the atmosphere percolate through the concrete cover and cause steel corrosion. Factors that impact corrosion of steel in concrete. Carbonation and chloride cause the breakdown of this oxide film. After that, the steel is deficit and the corrosion process begin. Steel corrosion in concrete is an electrochemical process that involves two half cell reactions happening at the same time on the steel surface. Next, the free version called corrosion of steel in concrete. Corrosion in concrete structures can be avoided by using low permeable concrete, which reduce corrosion-inducing agent penetration, and high resistivity concrete, which limits corrosion rate by reducing the current flow from anode to cathode.
For the underground tank corrosion, firstly, the environment, the tank design, the amount of the unprotected steel is exposed to moisturize, the chemical characteristics of moistures, and the unstable temperature range are significantly affect the pace and severity of the tank corrosion.
The effect corrosion of the underground tank. The following are some of the most typical reasons for the tank failure. The tank and the concrete base are separated by voids, sealant breaking down and cracking. Corrosion behind the insulation is caused by weight and improper insulation (CUI). Natural corrosive and aggressive substance. Underground tanks are being infected by aggressive soil chemistry. For preventions, the corrosion of underground tanks. Typical technique for the prevent tank corrosion include the following: corrosion-resistant material. The use of the corrosion-resistant material for the tank construction during the early design phase is one of the first line of defense against tank corrosions. Even though steel is the materials of the choice for the tank, less corrosion material may also be employed. Coating and lining. One of the most popular ways to protect storage tank is by using paint and coating. The coating is a shield to keep air and moisture from getting in touch with the metal substance, serving as a barrier protection for their main purpose. By getting rid of those substance, corrosion is stopped by separate. The last one, chaotic protection. Kelvin chaotic version, as known as chaotic protection at shield, is corrosion prevent method in way to the target metallic surface is purposely made from the chaotic in gelatin cell. With this technique, the metal parts of the tank are electrical connect to other metals that is prompt corrosion, either either direct and indirect. The metals that corrode more readily in this situation serve as an unknown.
The conclusion of our presentation today, there are several ways to prevent the corrosion of metal. Jewelry also corrodes easily and changes color. To prevent corrosion, you can take preventative measures such as oiling the surface, galvanizing the metal surface, hot dipping of metal, substitution method, and etc. Prevention is necessary as corrosion weakens the metal strength and gradually eats it up. Lack of adequate corrosion prevention measures in above ground and below ground tanks can result in several environmental and public safety hazards including fluid contamination, leaks, spills, and extreme cases, fires, and explosion. While the effect of corrosion can be devastating, they can be avoided by taking the necessary precaution. That's all from us. Thank you.